Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my first video that I've ever made. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos on from GP Outdoors and Outdoors with the Morgans and people like that. I'm very interested in tractors. I am a novice. As you can see behind me is my BX 2380 Kubota. I've had it for about a year now, and it's a great little machine. But we'll get to that in a little bit about what I use it for and everything. From central Maine right now, it is probably 25 degrees outside. December, Christmas time. I'm here in my shed. This is the shed I got this past summer. It is there's no electricity in it. The lights you see is all from extension cords and everything that are run out there. But I have a lot of interest. I'm a kind of a starter homesteader. We're going to be getting chickens. I live on 8 acres of land out here. It's a lot of forestry type property. It's ridges. I like to trap. I like to hunt. I like to do a lot of things that's outdoorsy. And I love using my tractor. I cut my own firewood. I do pretty much everything I can do myself. I'm home right now instead of working, because I'm not sure if you can see it, but I've recently had carpal tunnel surgery on one hand, and next week I'm getting it done on the other. So I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos and said, hey, why not? It's kind of a nice community with tractors and kind of basically doing your own work at home. I am by no means an expert on any of this stuff, but I figured, hey, if you guys wanted to hang around for a bit, I'll give you a tour of the property and talk about my tractor a little bit. My work shed right now is a work in progress. It is an absolute mess. Please do not mind the mess. I just spent about 2 hours trying to organize nuts and bolts that I got in here. So if you want to stick around, we'll take a tour of the property. Thanks. All right, guys. Apologize for having no light back here. Like I said, everything is kind of done with extension cords right now. I will eventually get power out here this summer. But it being winter right now, this is my BX 2380 by Kubota. It's a great tractor. It's a great little tractor. And does a lot of stuff that a lot of the B2601s and 2650s can do. It just takes a little bit more time. So as you can see, I got chains on it for winter time. I opted to do that after last year. Tires are spinning real bad on my driveway, especially once it gets slushy and that freezes. I outfitted some exterior work lights on it. About $100 for these. This get up. The LEDs has floodlights, and then on the outside, and then spotlight in the center. And the rear one, I'm not sure if you can see it with the ROPS down, just a little 6 or 8 LED light, 6 LED I believe, just so I could see behind me. That's all that was for. Mounted it right to the ROPS, and then took my time, ran the wires down, and put them in this hard coating all the way down past the seat, ran it underneath and into the battery compartment. Brought it up, and as you can see, I have made a nice little switch here, waterproof switch, that when it turns on, it's like that. Pretty bright, as you can see. Does its job for what I need it to do. On the back here, got some ideas online, and I removed the triangle, which is over here, as you can see. Remove the triangle, put in an ammo box. Don't need the triangle right now. I live on a private road. There's not a lot of cars down here, so that's not necessary right now. My neighbor's got a bigger tractor. We both go up and down the road, and there's not a whole lot of traffic down at the end. I'm at the very end of the road. Ammo box is a great toolbox. It didn't come with a toolbox. It was optional. I decided not to get it because I figured I could do something myself. As you can see in here, I just have some shear pins, some basic tools to work on it, rag, pry bar. Just enough that while I'm snow blowing, I can get everything that I need to have done. Speaking of snowblowing, got the BX 2816 snowblower on it with the quick attach front mount. Went with the hydraulic chute rotation on it. However, the chute deflector, I did not put anything on it. I probably will go with a electronic one in the future, but that it started getting out of my price range, so I was unable to do that. But yeah, great little tractor. As time goes on, I'm starting to realize that I'm ready for a bigger tractor. I did not get a bigger tractor like the dealer suggested, because basically it intimidated me. I wanted something that I felt I could handle, so I went with something smaller. As you can see in my background, the background there is my Troy built lawn tractor. I wanted something that I can that was maybe a little bit bigger and I could handle. Once I got on it, I fell in love with it. As time goes on, I realized I cut my own wood on my own property, and the ground clearance, although it's 8.4 inches, I probably would be better off with a B2601. But once I get this paid off and kind of get going with everything that I got going on around here, built on my property, we'll revisit getting a 2601. Good news is that with the 2601, this implement here, the snowblower, from my understanding, can be transferred over to the 2601. It is a 50-inch. They prefer a 55-inch on it, but the 50-inch will work. So I won't have to necessarily get rid of that. I'm not sure if the quick attach will hook on or if I have to get a whole new subframe for it. But again, that's something that I'll revisit when we cross that bridge. All right, let's take a look around the property. All right, guys. So this is my kingdom. What you're looking at right now behind me is up my driveway. It's about a 250-foot driveway. Curves around to the private road. And then to the left is my neighbor's. He has like a 1,000-foot driveway. I own 8 acres that way. As we walk around the property, you're going to see Christmas decorations and stuff. It's Christmas time. We are very festive. My daughter loves it. I have a young daughter and a young son. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. So, but yeah, let's take a look around. Okay, guys. So, right there, you see my fur shed. Like I said, I do some trapping and hunting and stuff, and I need a place. This is my little man area that I go in, and that's where I do fur processing and everything, and we'll go inside here in a few minutes, take a look at that. There's the driveway that I was talking about. You got the house, and there's the Christmas decorations I was just speaking of. And there's my shed out back, where the tractor and all my tools are still stored. There's all my implements right there. They're covered up in the snow. I have a rear blade, the front end loader, and a York rake that goes with it. It goes with the tractor. All right, guys. So here we got the clothesline. We try to minimize using as much electricity as we can when we can. There's my garden area. Now, like I said, I'm by no means an expert. And if you were to look at a Google shot of this fence around it, you could see that it was definitely not crooked. I mean, not straight. It was definitely crooked. Basically what it was is the two inside here, and I'll show you when we look down it. You can see how it curves in. The two inside posts on the sides, I offset probably 3 to 4 inches, and and when I set the concrete, that's pretty much where they set. So I'll have to try to repair those this summer, but it does its job. Keeps the deer and the cats out of the garden. Got my little flagpole area over here. If we continue around, we'll be walking around the front of the house again. To where the fur shed is. So let's go ahead inside and take a look at the fur shed. My fur shed, as you can still see, it's still unfinished in here. But I set it up for fur season just to get me by this year. My plan is to run electricity in here, insulate it, put up some OSB boards, and set up the stove so it has more fire protection around it and everything. So here, let me switch cameras. All right, so this is the fur shed, guys. Just gonna take a quick scan around and I'll give you the 10-cent tour here. So as you can see, it's still unfinished. Like I said, I'm gonna put up some OSB. I'm gonna insulate. I'm still running an extension cord out here in order to get the lights, and as you can see, without being too bright, it's just a couple of work lamps up in here. I got electricity running to the freezer, the fridge, the vacuum, but all that gets shut off with the exception of the freezer and the fridge when I leave. Got the wood stove. Gonna do some fireproofing around the wood stove. Thinking about doing just some sheet metal with some spacers. I got the flushing beam with the workbench. I'm gonna redo that workbench that was temporary for this year, but I just used some rough cut that I had kicking around, rough cut 2x6s and 1x8s. But that's what the entire floor is made of. It is a fur shed, so as you can see, there's blood on it and everything else. But I laid this floor in. They just had a subfloor when I got the shed, and yeah, so that's basically it. Got a lot of work to do out here this spring and summer. But let's take a walk out, take a look at some of the property out back here. All right, so we're out back behind the fur shed. This is where, as you can see, is the old fur shed herself. This is where I hang my traps up. I do the painting and dyeing and everything right there, and let them sit, as you can see. And this is where I do my wood processing. As you can see right now, there's not any being done because it's winter time, makes it more difficult. And I got my wood for this year all taken care of, and for most of next year. However, this is where it's going to take place next year. I plan on running some paths down through here for my tractor so I can bring up the wood directly. But out back here it's nice, it's out of the way, nobody sees it from the roadway. If we continue walking, you can see that it's very much a lot of hills and ridges around here, but beautiful country. I own about 8 acres, and there's a brook. As you can see, it's cold right now and it's all snow, but there's a brook that runs right through here, continues down through. Lots of deer out here, coyotes. I've got coyotes on game cams. No bucks. I've seen a lot of doe, but no bucks. But just beautiful country, nice, quiet. Before this, I lived out in a more rural a more urban style neighborhood, and I just didn't like it. I didn't like people driving by all the time. I didn't like just a lot that was going on. So we got this property, and enjoy every minute of it. Hey guys, first video is going to be a pretty short one, but my plan is with this channel is to go on and show you different things that we're going to be doing, my different projects, kind of take you along on. Like I said, I'll dig that GoPro out, so we can get some better shots and everything. Take you on tours of the land. I've got a lot of projects set up for the summer. Chicken coop, get some chickens, cutting a pathway through here for my tractor, building a bridge to get across the brook, stuff like that. So I hope you guys will kind of follow along with me. Give me some pointers wherever we can. I always welcome. Hit the subscribe button. Would love to have you guys come along. And if you like the video, go ahead and click that like button. And if you want to get notified when I post a new video, hit the little bell down at the bottom, and that will send you a message every time that I post a new video. Thanks a lot, guys. Appreciate you having you along. Thanks.